So in this next part of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do the reflection effect. So I'm going to save this file, and then I am going to select all of the layers above the white background, and I'm going to do a merge layers, and that has now merged all the layers that were selected. I'll do that again in case you missed it. So I want the bottle, the highlight lessener, the label, and the shadow. And then I'm going to go to the flyout menu and choose Merge Layers. With the bottle layer selected, I'm going to do Command T to scale it. I'm just scaling it holding the Shift key, giving it a little bit more air at the bottom. Return, Command D, which is deselect, and I'm moving it up again holding the Shift key. Then I'm going to duplicate the bottle layer and put it underneath. Really doesn't matter which one of these you use, but I like to put the copy underneath. It's, I don't know, it's OCD, I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and then choose Edit, Transform, and I'm going to use Flip Vertical. So it's going to flip this way, vertical, like that, as opposed to horizontal, like that. And then I'm going to drag this down, holding the Shift key so it lines up perfectly. Okay. Sometimes it's recording. I'm recording. It's totally fine. I don't care. All right, so then I'm going to use, this is a little bit weird, I'm going to use the warp again. Edit, Transform, Warp, because I've noticed that these things look a little more flat on the bottom in the reflection, kind of like that. And then I'm going to add a new layer on top of that layer. And on this layer, I'm going to go to the gradient tool. And I'm going to use the colors of my gradient as white and actually white. Both are white, okay? Both are white. The top slider here is currently at 0%, and instead of having it be 0%, I'm going to have it be 20. And then the first one here is at 100. So when I drop the gradient down onto that layer, click, hold the Shift key and drag down. Now, what's making that look a little bit weird right there is that the highlight is getting extra highlighted because of the bottom of the label. So I'm going to undo it so you can see where that's happening. And I'm going to click a little higher and shift and click down a little lower. That looks right now. So sometimes I'm just playing around with the position of the gradient placement tool. And there it is. Yeehaw. Now, if I wanted to just get the effect of what it would look like to have more of these, I'm going to hold down the Shift key and select all 3 layers. And then I'm going to drag those 3 layers to the new layer icon. They're still all selected, and switch to the Move tool. And hold the Shift key, and I did something wrong there. Okay, here is my issue. It's that this is covering that jar there, and I cannot have that. So I'm going to take all of those 3 layers and place them beneath. Now I have the problem here. So this layer right there, that's that highlight, or shadow I should say. I'm going to put all those together down here. See how those are now next to each other? So again, I'm going to do click, and this time I'll use the Command key to select layers not in sequence. Duplicate those layers, slide over, and make sure, looking at the spacing between the bottles right now, that the highlighter thingamabobbin is covering the background of the bottles. So the upside down bottle needs to be down here. And there we go. So we have the 3 upside down bottles, the 3 shading thingies, and then the 3 right side bottles. However, you might notice these vertical lines here. That's where we have overlaps in the highlight. So truly, we probably just need one of these. Command T for that shader, and I'm just going to drag it straight across. See, there it is. If you feel like it's not strong enough, you can just duplicate that. Ooh, ah. Okay. And then just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to select the first layer, which now it's going to look like a slightly different flavor. I'm going to go Command U. Oh, wait. I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to come over to the History panel, Window, History. I'm going to show you another way of using History. Okay, and I'm going to make a new snapshot. Boom, there it is. By clicking this little tiny snapshot button, what I've just done here is I've added this new snapshot down here. So there it is. That's the new snapshot. That's what I can revert to if I need to while this document is still open. Then, on a layer by layer basis here, I'm going to select this top one and do Command U, and I'm going to change the color a little bit by increasing the saturation so that middle one is more red. Okay? Okay. And then I'm going to switch to the middle one, which is actually on the end, so that's a little confusing. So I like to make these things go in the right order. That's just me. To me, that's got to be in the middle like that. So that's left, center, right, and this one, Command U. I'm going to change the hue to yet another slightly different color. So it's like curry flavor, extra spicy, and original.